Right, if you've just come from part one, welcome back. I finally finished part two. Let's get straight into it. Let's go! Right, it's now tomorrow. I've just got back from work, so it's just coming up to about 5. So let's get back out there and just try and get as much done before it gets dark. Quick run through what I need to get done this evening, because this is just starting to get really time pressure now. So this is now Monday evening. MOT is booked in for Thursday, which means I've only really got tomorrow to try and get all the suspension parts and everything back on, because on Wednesday I still need to do the rear bushes on the front wishbone arms, and I just need to check the car over as well, make sure it's ready for the MOT. And the worst thing is tomorrow's forecast is now looking like it might rain most of the day, so I have to really hope that if it's just a bit of a drizzle I can work with that. If it's bucketing it down, then it's game over. I'm not going to get the car ready for the MOT, which means I have to push the MOT back, which is something I really don't want to do, because there's still other things I need to get done on this car. But picking up from last night, what I need to get done today is I need to get both the wheel arches cleaned up. Need to get the one done on this side as well. And coming back to this panel, so I did a bit of research on this last night, and it is the case that you cannot get this replacement panel brand new. All it is just a cover holding these two pipes behind here. And I've just had a look at what they're for. I think they're actually fuel pipes. There must be some sort of return or something to the tank. So what I'm gonna have to do is try and take this off. And what you can do is just get some stainless pipe clamps and just bolt them onto these pipes. I can just do away with the old piece of metal here, because it is, I mean, people have said online that it is considered as a bit of a moisture trap, so it's just going to cause more rust. So I'm better off just getting rid of it, putting some nice new clamps in. So we'll clean it all up, get it all rust proof and everything with the under seal, and then we'll put those new pipe clamps in. So we can get it all cleaned up, get the arches cleaned up, get all the under seal done. The pipe clamps will have to be a job for tomorrow, because they're not arriving until during the day tomorrow. But I'm really going to have to press on, just get as much done as possible. So a lot of this work today I think might just have to be a bit of a time lapse. I might not actually have time to talk through what I'm doing. I just got to try and knock out as much as possible, get the under seal done, so tomorrow night, fingers crossed, if the weather holds out, I can get on to putting all the suspension arms and everything back onto the car. Right, just took all the nuts for this plate off, every single one apart from 2 sheared off. So let's see what this is hiding behind here. Oh, nice, a bit spicy behind there. Right, apart from loads of dirt just being trapped behind here, it actually doesn't look too bad. Just going to need a good clean up, and then once we've got that under seal on there, that will look a lot better. And then the new pipe clamps, they'll just clamp onto here, just keeping this in place. Right, that's pretty much all the wire brushing prep work done. Next up now, we need to blow out all of the dust and debris using the air line before we start applying the underseal. One thing is, you guys are probably cringing watching me do all this without putting the dust mask on. Unfortunately, I've run out of them, but I think I'm going to use a good old COVID-19 mask. Shows how long the car hasn't been used for. I still have one of these sitting in there. So if this could keep COVID out, let's hope it keeps the dust out of my face, because as soon as I blow this air line, it's just going to kick out dust all over the place. Right, almost there. Just one more thing I need to do before I can start undersealing this, which is something you might want to take note if you own one of these cars. And that is in the driver's side rear wheel arch. You see where these pipes pass through into the interior of the car? These feed through into like a metal bar that feeds underneath the rear seats. And what happens is moisture and water gets into there, because I don't know why they didn't seal this off, and it actually rots out the bar on the inside. So what everyone usually does is we just seal this off with a bit of sort of sealant, and I will be doing exactly that using a bit of good old Tiger Seal. So it's going to seal all of that in there nice and thick, and that will prevent any moisture getting in there and prevent that area from rotting out in the future. And there we go, there it is, all sealed up. Not the prettiest looking thing, but it's going to get covered up in under seal anyway. Okay, so now that the underside and the arches are all prepped, and now at the point where I can start applying the under seal. Oh, and this is the stuff I'm using to underseal the car. So it was about, was it 12 cans for about 60 quid, and it has some pretty good reviews. I just got this one off of eBay. So hopefully it'll do the job nicely, but I've learned from doing it previously. I've got extra cans because you'll be surprised how quickly you go through these. Right, it's just gone 10 PM now, and it's gone completely dark and it started raining, but I've managed to get all of the undersealing done, so that's all finished now. We'll get a look at it tomorrow in the daylight how it looks. I've just had to do it with all the torches and everything, but I think I've covered it all. So hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow the parts I'm waiting for will turn up, and then we can start getting the rear suspension all back on as well. So right, gonna head in, get cleaned out, so I'm just absolutely covered in underseal, and yet again we'll pick it up again the next day. Right, it is now Tuesday. I've just got back from work, just coming up to 5 PM, and we have a problem. It's literally been raining all day. And what's so annoying was I was driving home from work, right? And I was looking around going, do you know what? It's been raining all day, but it's starting to clear up. I'm seeing it all brightening up and everything. The clouds are starting to sort of break up a bit, a little bit of sunlight coming through. And then I just see this massive dark cloud, like we could literally see it's raining in the distance, all dark and grey, and it's literally over my town. Literally, my house is being rained on while everyone else is okay. That's literally my luck, but I'm just gonna have to suck it up, just get out there regardless how much it's raining, because I've got no choice. I've got about 5 hours today now. I'm gonna go until probably about between 10 and 11 o'clock at night. I need to get the rear end put back together today so I can get a couple more jobs done tomorrow and get it to the MOT on Thursday. If today fails, then that's it. It's not going to make it to the MOT on Thursday. It's going to be tight. I'm even recording this right now. I can't even guarantee, like, I'm not even trying to build suspense in, and I know it's going to happen. I genuinely don't know if I'm going to get it all done in time. The good news is all the parts I ordered from Discount NG Rover Spares for next day delivery are here. They've turned up already. Everything's here, so everything I need to now finish the job is all here. So another shout out to those guys. I mean, I put the order in literally, I think it must be about 10, 11 o'clock at Sunday night. I popped them a message as well just to say that I've paid for like the next day delivery option that they've got, but you know, I really need these parts on Tuesday. Can you see if you can sort of prioritize getting my order out? And they messaged me back. They said, yeah, we've sorted it out right now. They're doing it, and the stuff is here already in time for me to get out there and start working on the car. So right, let's get out there and get started. So the first thing to do is to just check out the undersealing I'd done the night before. Now that I can see it better in daylight, and I tell you what, it is so satisfying seeing the underside of the car all blacked out and looking fresh. Tonight I need to get all of the rear suspension put back together, starting with the rear upper arms. So I need to start off by fitting the new drop links, and then I can get these arms onto the car. So here's something new I learned after just doing a bit of research. So you know the captive nut that broke off inside the subframe for the near side rear suspension arm that had all that trouble getting out? Well, I thought the captive nut is actually welded to the subframe, but it's not. What it is, it's actually got like a U-shape metal weld that this slides into. And what broke is basically the round part here broke off the flat plate, which is what was then spinning inside. So I've actually been able to order a replacement one of these. I didn't even know you could get them new, but again, from Discount NG Rover Spares, so brilliant, shout out to them again. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I should be able to slot this back into the holder in the subframe, and we should be able to get the bolt to tighten up onto this. So let's give it a try. Haha, it worked. It's gone into the slot. I'm just going to get the right angle. Get a light in there, there you go. So I've just slotted the new captive nut into that U-shaped sort of metal weld, and well, it's in there, so let's hope it holds when I try to tighten a bolt onto it. Right, slight change of plan. So the captive nut idea didn't unfortunately work, although it was in the slot. Once I got the bolt in there and started tightening it, it started to turn the captive nut, and basically the metal around it that's supposed to hold it in place is just too weak. so it started to bend it out. Got me proper worried because I thought, oh no, what if I can't get this captive nut back off now? But luckily it did, the bolt did come straight back out. So instead I've gone my original idea and I've put one of the suspension arm nuts onto the inside of the subframe instead. So I deliberately ordered an extra one of these as a backup plan for this very reason. So if you take a look, I put the nut on this side and then I can hold it with one of these sort of angled spanners and just tighten it from the other end as normal. And there we go with the spanner out of the way. If I can get the light in the right place. There you go. There's the nut inside there. So that will now be nice and secure, solve the problem. I don't know why they didn't design it this way with a hole there as access, because they've got holes in the subframe on this side, which is, oh, there it is. I'll get the light in the right place. There we go. So you see that hole there, that's for access on this end. They could have just done the same on this side, and rather than having that captive nut, could have had a nut on there like I've just fitted, which is, you can at least get a spanner onto. Whereas if once the captive nut starts spinning in there, you just end up screwed and you've got no option but, like I had, to cut a hole in the subframe. I mean, a lot of people drop the whole subframe and cut it from the top, but I just did not have the time to do that. So done a bit of research, and cutting this hole here on the flat surface, not near an edge, should not affect it structurally at all. So at least now I've got a proper nut on there, and if I ever, well, for any reason I did have to take the arm off again, I can get it off a lot easier. Right, getting back to it, now I can bolt up the upper arms at the hubs and also get the rear coil springs back in. The drop links from the upper arms can be bolted up to the anti-roll bar, and then I can get the lower arms bolted up as well. Right, remember in part 1 where I went to remove the rear shocks and found that the top mounts seized on, and then I had to knock them off and found that the centres had actually still seized themselves onto the top of the shocks? Well, I had to angle grind these off so I could get the large washer off and the sleeves off the old shocks ready to put onto the new ones. So once the new shocks are all set up ready to go, Deanna kindly popped out to give me a hand to get these fitted to the car. Next job is to get the driver's side rear back plate fitted, along with the handbrake shoes and the handbrake cable. Quick comparison of the back plates, the old rusty disintegrated one versus a nice shiny new one. Right, the new back plate and the handbrake shoes are all on now. Reusing the handbrake shoes, they're still fine. I know they look a bit crusty, but they still work. But I did get a new spring and retaining clips kit for this. So that's all now on. Unfortunately, I just didn't get a chance to film doing that because time is getting on now. As you can see, it is getting dark. It's 9:30 now, and I did run into yet another problem when trying to put the new back plate on. What I didn't realise is, if you look at the new back plate, this little silver sort of pipe that the handbrake cable goes through, on the old back plate, that bit had seized onto the handbrake cable. So I had to sit there with a hacksaw and mole grips and hold it and cut it all the way around to get it off, otherwise you couldn't get the new back plate on. But that's now on. I've just got the bottom bolts on the shocks to put on, but I have, oh great, I've run into another problem actually. I forgot to order a new ABS sensor. I thought I'd ordered it. I thought I ordered it as a wheel bearing and ABS sensor package. Turns out I hadn't. I've just bought the wheel bearing, so I'm going to hold off fitting the wheel bearing on that side and try and get hold of a sensor tomorrow from a local motor factor if I can. Put the ABS sensor in first, because sometimes from experience I've found that the ABS sensor doesn't like going through the hub, so I may have to lightly drill out the hole for the ABS sensor, and I don't want to do that with the wheel bearing in case I damage the magnetic ring on the wheel bearing. So we'll hopefully, there's only one place I can try tomorrow locally to try and get an ABS sensor. I really hope they do stock it, because if they don't, then I can't get one in time for Thursday, which means we're not going to make it for the MOT. But we'll carry on now, get as much as we can done, and see. Yeah, we'll just see how far we get. So I'll update you guys in a bit.
1 hour later.
Right, at 10 to 11, we are now back inside. Oh, it had to be a bit of a mad rush. I didn't get to film any of it what I was doing now, but basically the point we're at now, we're not in too bad of a position. So the back end of the car is mostly now back together. So we've got all the shocks and everything back on. I've done a bit more undersealing. So the coil springs, they've now been undersealed as well now that they're back on the car. I've just got the rear calipers to put on. The driver side wheel bearing, as like I mentioned earlier, that's got to go on, then the brake disc on that side. Other than that, then yeah, the wheels can then go on and the back end of the car will be done. God, it was literally so awful working out there. Started chucking it down a couple of times. I am just soaking wet, where I've literally just been laying in puddles. All the carpets, everything I had down, all got soaking wet, and I've just literally been soaked. My ass is literally soaking wet for like the last probably 2 hours at least. But we did get the job done, all thanks to Deanna as well. She came out to help for like the last, 2 hours? Probably at least. Hours, yeah. Without her help, there was other tasks, little bits that we needed doing that I just, the time it would have taken to do it, if I did it on my own, I would not have got all this done tonight. So yeah, thank you, Deanna. And hopefully we'll get it finished in time. Fingers crossed, yeah. So, all right.
The next day.
Right, it is Wednesday afternoon. MOT is tomorrow, but we have good news. We have an ABS sensor, so we can get the back end finished. Need to get straight on this now. Last day to try and get back end put together now, whatever's left, and I need to still do the front wishbone arm bushes, so need to get straight on it. Again, I don't know how much of this I might be able to film because I am going to be rushing and going to be pressure for time. Again, weather's a bit pants, so I might get caught up by rain, so I'm just going to be getting on with it and I'll try and film what I can. Right, let's do it. Let's start off by getting that rear ABS sensor in. I did have to drill out the hole in the hub to get the ABS sensor in because it was just too tight, it just wasn't going in. It's just where the hub rusts over the years and it just kind of expands into that hole. So drilled out the hole, got the ABS sensor into there, nice and easy, got it bolted in and plugged in. Now with the new ABS sensor installed, I can get the new wheel bearing fitted, get the brake disc back on and the caliper back on. But just before I refit those rear calipers, one more thing I need to do first, and that is to adjust the handbrake. This is always a really fiddly task to do, but the correct way to do it is start by adjusting it at the rear, at the handbrake shoes. So with the handbrake off, adjust the handbrake shoes to the point where they just grip the disc and then wind the adjustment back a couple turns. And then adjust any slack in the handbrake cables at the adjustment on the handbrake lever. Oh, right, moving on. Right, of course I've had yet another flipping nightmare. I can't believe how many back to back, like literally everything I'm trying to do at the minute is just like the simplest things are just being an absolute pain. So with adjusting the handbrake, I managed to do the adjustments at the rear. So I've got the handbrake shoes all sorted, but then I still had a bit of slack in the handbrake. Like the first bit when I was lifting it up was just literally doing nothing. There was no tension on it. So like, yeah, that's easy peasy. So now that I've adjusted the back, all I've got to do is just adjust the adjustment nut there, and that will tighten the cable at this end, and that will be the end of it. Like, that will be the job done. Of course it didn't work like that. So I don't know when this has happened, but at some point where it's been adjusted before, the adjustment nut was just spinning in one spot, so it wouldn't tighten and it wouldn't come off either. So I've had to sit here with a hacksaw for probably like the last half an hour with the most tiniest bit of space and cut the old nut off, which was just an absolute nightmare. And then the reason why it was spinning was because the thread, if I can get the focus, the thread further down was basically stripped. So you'd never get a nut tightened that far down. So, okay, it's probably, you know, some of you might cringe at this, but I'll have to stack a load of washers on there. That way, when I put the nut on, the nut is tightening much further up the thread where the thread is still okay. And I've managed to tighten that up. And now the handbrake is holding straight away there rather than coming right the way up. But what an absolute flipping nightmare. Another job that should have been 5 minutes, that's just wasted probably another hour in total. But on the plus side, well, I don't know if you can see it very well, there you go, look, we've got blue sky. The sun's trying to come out a bit, so it stopped raining for a while. But right, let's get on to the next thing. Now that the handbrake adjustment's all sorted, I can move on to getting those rear calipers bolted back in place. Next up, we need to get the rear arches back in, but first we need to secure these pipes after we removed that metal cover that had rusted away. So found a solution. Going to use these clamps. They'll just go onto there. You just drill a couple of holes, just use a couple of self-tappers to secure it, and that will hold the pipes pretty neatly. I think it'll only take probably about 3 of these, so we'll get onto that now. now with the wheels back on, we can finally get the car back on the ground and take it through a little test spin just to make sure that all the work that we've done on the back end is all okay and we're not getting any nasty sounds or anything like that. So that was a quick little test spin around the estate, and now we've got the car back on the driveway, we can move on to the final step. So now that the back half of the car's all done, I now need to get the front half under sealed. So that's like the front arches, the front subframe, suspension arms, coil springs, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to make a start on doing that. Now some of you may have noticed the rear wheels are now a different colour. So what it is the actual wheels that are for this car, the rear tyres were getting a little bit low on tread. They're still perfectly legal and would be fine for an MOT, but I might have got an advisory on them for just being close to the markers. And just because I want a nice clean MOT, I thought I'd chuck a pair of wheels on from my spare set. So they're the same wheel, just different colour, and they've got much better tyres on now. And then once the car's past its MOT, I can just change the rear tyres when I get a chance. But anyway, let's keep going and we might just get this done in time tonight. Right, quick progress update. So the back end of the car is all done. It's back on the ground. I gave it a little quick test run and everything seems okay. It did get quite late, but we decided to try and get the front end of the car done as well in terms of undersealing. So we got it up on the axle stands, got the front wheels off, been undersealing all in the wheel arches, all on the underside, and got about halfway through it, and it just decided to absolutely bucket it down. It's currently now just gone midnight. We've just sort of freshened up and everything, but I've got a bit of an issue now. So the car is currently still on axle stands with the front wheels off and the under tray off, and it's due in for an MOT at 8:30 in the morning. So I guess the only thing I can do now is I'm going to have to get up at something crazy like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning, head out there, just finish it, put it back together and just get it ready for the MOT. So it's going to be a long knackering day. I mean, I'm already absolutely knackered from this week because I've literally haven't gotten to bed earlier than about 1 a.m. every day and then been back up again at 7. Even you're knackered, aren't you, Deanna? You've been out there helping me today. She's been out there, she got soaked as well, but she's done all the interior as well. She cleaned all the interior because of all that mold that appeared on the seats from where the car's just been stored for a while. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to go out there early in the morning. It's gonna be a long knackering day, but I'm just gonna have to get it ready, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it to the MOT tomorrow if it stops raining, because at the minute it's still chucking it down. So fingers crossed. But I'll get some sleep and do an update next when I'm up in the morning.
One nap later.
All right, good morning. Right, it's currently just coming up to 5 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, let's check this out. See, coming up to 5. Plan was to actually be up at 4. I got up at about 4:15. I'm just so tired. I literally feel like I'm going to be sick. I'm just so knackered, but it's not raining at the minute. So I'm going to get out there, just get that last bit of underseal done, get the front end back together, just get the wheels back on basically, and the under tray, and take the car for a little quick test spin, and then hopefully it'll be ready for its MOT. Right, let's get out there. Got to try and be really quiet. We've got neighbours and that, and it's so early in the morning. So, right, let's just get on with it. Right, first off, here's a quick look at the progress that we made last night. So here, the front end of the car is up in the air and dismantled at the minute. So last night I was all up in here, just getting all of this cleaned up, getting it all undersealed in the front arches. So still got a bit more to apply in places. Same with the other side. So that was the side I was halfway through and it started chucking it down. So I hadn't finished that side yet. This side was the side I'd already done. So that's all looking much better than it was before. So now I've just got to get underneath there as well and just finish all the underside at the front. And whilst I was doing all that, Deanna very kindly sorted out the interior for me. So you guys may remember from a previous video that all of these seats here, they started getting a small bit of sort of mold developing on them. No idea why, because the car had actually been stored like for 5 years, and for all that time while it's been garaged, it was absolutely fine. And then a few months ago I washed it, put it back in the garage, and then a few weeks later I came back and had a look at the car and it had all this sort of mold all over the seats and everything, which he'd never had before, so I don't know how that happened. But yeah, last night Tiana worked really hard on these, just scrubbing them up, cleaning them up. She's done an absolutely brilliant job because they've all come up nice and clean, and all the marks and everything on the seats have all gone. So massive shout out to her for doing that, because she was out here with me till late last night. She gave the dashboard and that good clean, because there was a little bit of it up here. So yeah, really lucky that I've got her, because I didn't stand a chance of getting all this done by myself. So right, I'm gonna get onto the undersealing now. Let's get this done. Hopefully the rain will hold off. Looking like it's going to drastically rain anytime soon. So right, let's just get this finished and get it back on the ground, then we can take it for a test spin. Okay, right, it's just gone 6:30 and the car is ready. So I'm just going to take it on a quick test spin, just make sure everything's all right, and then we're going to be good to go. Oh, and here's a nice little neat pile that Deanna's done of all the rust and corrosion that we sort of wire brushed off the bottom of the car. All of that came off before we undersealed it. But you got to look at the positive side. That does mean a bit of weight reduction, huh? Means the car's going to be a little bit faster now, so we should definitely hit that charity run time. Right, it's time for a test spin. Let's take it for its first run in 5 years. Temperature. Let's give it a good run. God, it's nice to be out in this one again. Oh, it's still driving nice. No bad knocks or anything like that from doing all the suspension so far, so looking good. That'd be the worst thing right now, is if a couple of hours before dropping into the MOT garage you start hearing a really bad knock at the back or something like that. So far this is driving nice. It's going to be so nice having this car back on the road this summer. Every year I'll be going like, oh, I need to get back on the road for this summer, we should get it back on the road. It's just not happened. At least with this charity run that we're doing now, it's just giving me a reason to force myself to actually put the time in to get this car sorted and get it back on the road. Oh, it drives nice. Right, let's spin it around here. So I think we're all good, everything seems okay, so just fingers crossed now that we haven't missed anything or anything else crops up on the MOT. I can't imagine something else could pop up. I mean, we fixed what it failed on previously, and it's between the last time it was MOT 5 years ago and now, all it's done is sat in 2 different garages. So, you know, I can't imagine something else has sort of cropped up, but soon find out. Later on today we'll find out, get it in, and hopefully it just passes through. I'm expecting there might be a couple of advisories like those bushes that I didn't get round to doing. I'd expect that I'd get an advisory on that again, but we'll see how it goes. If it does happen to fail, it's going to be a real push to get it sorted, because I basically have only got one more week left to get this car ready before we head down to Wales for that week holiday before we do the challenge. So if it does fail, I literally would have to fix it within days and get it retested at some point next week. Right, let's get back home. Brilliant. Right, well, it's good to go. Right, she's sorted, I think. Drove really well. No issues, there's no knocks, nothing. It's still pulling well as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, she'll just go straight through the MOT. Might be a couple of advisories that that one advisory we got from last time we still ain't got round to fixing, but other than that, it should be all right. So fingers crossed, get through. What do you reckon, Deanna? Reckon it'll pass?
Got everything crossed that it does. It's been a long week.
It's been way too much of a long week. Late nights all week. It'd be gutting if it failed now after all that. But I can't imagine it's going to be anything drastic now. So worst case, something silly to come up. Hopefully we can fix it pretty quickly and get it for a retest.
Well, we've done all we can now, so
yeah, so put in all the effort we can. A big thanks to Deanna. Got up so early this morning with me. I wasn't expecting that. I thought you'd get a nice lay-in. Right. Oh no, I've got dirt on it now. The tractors of me coming out in that lane though just went down, all mud down. Right, okay. Let's get changed then, let's get ready. Oh, I gotta go to work, so you gotta drop the car off for me. Right. Let's get heading then.
A little while later.
just coming up on 8:20 now, so I will be leaving in the next few minutes to get the car down to its MOT. Now it's been a really long, hard week. Of course, you know all about the situation we were in last night where we got rained off just before midnight, and we had to get up really early this morning to get the car done in time. But we did manage to do it. So we'll drop it in now, and we just have to hope that the work that we've done this week is enough to get it through its MOT. That's it, we're all dropped off now, so we'll see how she goes and we'll keep you all posted. Fingers crossed.
Later that evening.
Right, today was the day that we put this in for its MOT after putting all that work into it and everything. Well, I've got the result here. Well, no easy way to put it really, is there? It's only gone and passed. It's ready to go. Not only did it pass, it actually only had one advisory, and that was down to my own incompetence. One of the brake pipes on the back is slightly twisted. It just come out as advisory. That's just my own fault, obviously. I've had the rear caliper off, so when I want to put it back on, it's obviously twisted the pipe at some point. So I'll just quickly pop that off, untwist it, put it back on, and that'll be sorted, which is kind of gutting because that would have been nice to have a clean sheet with no advisories. But weirdly enough, the previous advisory I had for 5 years ago about the front bushes didn't pop up this time because we didn't get a chance to actually change them.
No, we didn't.
So I think we're just going to monitor that for now, I think, because we've got total time pressure to get other things done. I've still got the brand new parts, so we'll just keep an eye on that. And I think change it later if we have to.
Yeah, change
sort of thing. Yeah. So, right, that means the car is now mechanically sound, which means moving forward, we can start getting on to the fun stuff like some mods.
Okay, I think we'll call that the end of this video today then. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button so that you can follow us along on this journey. And we'll catch you in the next one.